talk today about using digital programs versus printed programs. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a very good topic because the people are talking about it. I'm getting comments about it. Just recently, I had someone make a comment about it. My opinion of it is that I am leaning towards the physical program
Mm.
because it has long range value and it can be referred back to, and it's easier to refer back to something that you've just sat on your coffee table or something that you put on the seat near your car. It's very usable.
Hmm.
Mhm.
But everybody I see now are going digital. They're not printing programs, and they're
Mhm.
just giving you a QR code, and you scan the QR code, and then you can see their flip book or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, what are there some advantages of that of going digital?
For the program producers, it's a very great
Hmm.
advantage. Printing is expensive.
Hmm.
Getting it together is expensive. You have delivery time, delivery charges, and everything else. With a digital program, you design a program, your designer designs a program, it's done.
Hmm.
Okay? You don't have to worry about printing quality, you don't have to worry about delivery. Um, there's a lot of advantages to it,
Hmm.
and it is very inexpensive
Okay.
right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right now.
So what are the advantages on the other end of printing a
Well,
program?
well, printing gives you something to hold on, and there has been proof, um, research proof, proving that when you're learning something and you have tactical experiences, you retain more. So that's one thing. So for me I'm working on both sides of this
Mm-hmm.
fence. So as a marketing and communication firm, we actually help people get ads to go in their booklet. Well, the people that's placing the ads would prefer, many of them are finding they would prefer, even though they don't like to have all these books hanging
Mm-hmm.
around, they would prefer to know that the people at the event is looking at their program, they can read it. We are getting older, and so some of us are having trouble looking at these little small screens, and that is another thing that we're looking at. So so many people over 50 and up are having trouble with these small screens. So that's one other reason. So there is a physical reason not to just stick with digital. Now the other factor, you can do that. You can show the program on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
which is, and I've seen people do that, and that's great. But I've also watched people as they're looking, as I'm at programs and I've done the digital
Mm-hmm.
program, and I see very few people looking at the program, very
Mm-hmm.
few.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a table not too long ago where you were there too, and I'd say maybe two of us and at the whole thing was looking at that program.
Right.
They didn't look at the program.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had an ad in that program,
Mm-hmm.
I I would feel like I lost something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand
Yeah.
exactly what you
Yeah.
mean because yeah, that program, I noticed that when I saw the QR code, I pulled out my phone and I scanned it, and I was following the program, looking at the booklet on my phone as the program was going on. But when I looked around, I noticed no one else was doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
I was curious as to how many, when they went home, did they actually go to that QR code and look and see whose ads were in there, or
Mm-hmm.
just review the program. So
Well, I would imagine if I bought an ad in a program, because we bought an ad in
yes,
that program,
yes,
I would go and look for my ad.
right.
But would I pay
Would you
attention
look
to
at everything
everyone
else?
else's ad?
Mm-hmm.
And as an advertiser and as a supporter, I want to know that when I place an ad in a booklet, that people are seeing it. Now, if I'm just giving a donation, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of small and even larger organizations, when they place an ad or they do a sponsorship, they have to go back to someone and say, this is what I got for this. This is the return on investment. So many eyes saw that message.
That's right.
So that's important.
So how do you or we, as Vinyls Marketing, how do we use both the digital and the print? How have we used it?
Well, I encourage people to do both if you can. If you can't do both, I would prefer you do a print. Okay, but if you can, there's all kind of free platforms, so you can take your print piece and upload your PDFs or design right into the platform, and you can have a digital for those that are digital have digital capabilities and an interest to look at. But we have to remember that as an advertiser, I want to know, because these are the things that you're giving back to people when they sponsor. You're handing them something back, saying for your sponsorship, you're going to have an ad in our program. You're going to have signs. These are the tools that you use to sell. Now, some advertisers, if they don't see any response, if they don't see any connection there, then they may say, "Oh, next year, well, I just saw my ad in the passing on my cell phone. I may not do that anymore." Now, there might be a time where that changes, where people are just like automatically, and the habits will be, I just want to see it digital on a digital platform. But the educators are talking. I just read a few articles recently. Educators are concerned about retention, and they're finding young people are not retaining messages that are happening on the phone or on the desktop. Now, there's another factor too, is when you're looking at a piece of paper, you're looking at something tangible, it got your attention. But when you're looking on your internet, on your phone, you can be distracted away from the message. So often,
yeah, because a lot of times when you're looking at things on your phone, there's a lot of pop-ups on your phone that can pull you away from where you were.
Yes. So I wouldn't tell someone not to use it, but I want them to know what you're doing. Make sure you've done a comparison. Make sure you understand. A lot of people, they just want to get, some people, I shouldn't say a lot, but some people feel, I just want to get that sponsorship. So I'm going to tell them for $500, I'll give them a full page ad on my digital program. The problem is that companies are looking for return on investment, and as this information starts coming out about digital attention, how will you stack up? Okay, and you may turn around and say, well, they just didn't sponsor me, and it might be that they didn't feel the sponsorship. They got return on investment. So there's two types of sponsorships when you get events and you do events. There's some people that's just giving you a donation.
Yes.
Okay, they're giving you a donation, and they don't care much about that. They're gonna write you off. It's coming from the foundation. They're gonna say, this is my donation, and all we have to do is, if you just put a list in the program and said they gave you you gave them $5,000 or whatever. There's other people who say, this money's coming from a communications department. This money's coming from a standpoint of, I need a return on investment. I'm not just writing this off as a donation, and I've got to see something tangible. I have to see the return on investment. And that's one of the issues that we're dealing with when we look at programming. So yes, if you don't have the money and you don't value it and you understand and you're only charging people a very low amount, yes, digital is okay. But if you want to build a legacy, if you want something that goes on and has things where people are saving your programs. I remember years ago I used to have people do programs, and they would save these programs for years.
Oh, I have some that I've saved for years.
Yeah.
They're little keepsakes.
Yeah,
they remind you of things. They remind you of people.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that's the relationship building, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the biggest thing that we have to understand with digital products, that relationships are so important. And if you have a nonprofit, you have a company, you want to build relationships that last forever. Now, some companies will do a digital program and a limited amount of physical programs.
Mm-hmm.
But even that has to be done with care, because there's some other people that if they came in that building and paid that, the tickets to these programs are getting $80, $150, $200. If I pay $200, why don't I have a
Why
book?
don't I have a program?
Why don't I have a program? Why don't I have a book?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I have something that I can hold on? I can go around and get have people sign and things like that. So that's really important. So I really think it's important. Now I don't know what your opinion is.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, to do both.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get something from both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you print a little less of the physical, but you have to be careful, and you have to know your audience. So if you're dealing with an audience that's a lot younger and have good eyes, don't have these
Mm-hmm.
and don't have bifocals, then digital will be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can blend some things. You can have some QR codes in your physical book, so people can go and see movies and see different things like that. So it's just a lot of. I don't think these two ways of communications have to be in opposition of each other.
Mm-hmm.
You could
They
bring
can
them
work together.
They could work
Yeah.
together. So finding ways for these forms of communication to work together is the key. And we do have to admit that after the shutdown, we had more people going online that may not have done it before. But I've noticed some people have moved away from going online. And as we can see here in Pittsburgh, we had Picklesburg, we had the draft, we had the Steeler games, and we have the baseball game. People are going back to physical. They want physical contact. And I'm learning in sales that even now, salespeople are recognizing that physical, that relationship building, everything cannot be done online, although it has its place.
Okay. So if you want to learn more about how to use digital and or print in your marketing, give us a call at 412-471-4332 or 471-IDEA. Or you can visit our website at www.bynums.com.